Okay. All right, cool. So let's make sure that all right, so I should be cool right now. This is exactly what I'm talking about, how to hire the laziest VAs that don't have a clue, don't speak your language, and still get your work done. This has been a big problem, and the reason why I'm posting all this shit up is so I can be lazy for the weekend, right? So I'll be posting these videos up to YouTube, both of ones, or actually 3 videos that I did up to YouTube. I'll be posting those. So that's why I'm hitting you guys with back-to-back value in the squad, right? So how to hire the laziest VAs that don't have a clue, they don't speak your language, right? So there's a trick to hiring virtual assistants, and I've had enough conversations with enough people to know, and I've traveled in enough countries, these developing countries, to tell you that for some reason, virtual assistants are just people in these countries, and don't get me to lying, I don't know why, but their mentality towards money and longevity are way different than what Westerners and the United States of America have, or just developing countries, right? So the way we look at things is like, all right, shit, if I stay with this company long enough and work long enough, maybe I can make some money, grow with the company, you know, and then start my own business or something like that, right? For whatever reason, they just look for a paycheck right now. It's incredible. Like Panama, Dominican Republic, most of the time, the Philippines, certain parts of China, like Cambodia, India, forget about it, right? Seriously, they just, for whatever reason, don't like coming to work regularly. They will come to work for like a couple of weeks, get that first paycheck, and then fucking bounce, right? So you can't rely on them to be consistent. So how is it possible, like Tim Ferris in the 4-Hour Work Week, to really hire these virtual assistants and say, okay, I can build a multi-million-dollar company on that? The first thing I'll tell you is that you can't pay shit. The second thing is you need to have an assessment process. So I'm going to talk about this really quickly. So in order to, you catch more flies with honey than you do vinegar. And so the other day I was looking at a post on LinkedIn, and this girl was like, I want to hire a rock star VA for $30,000 a month. Man, everybody on LinkedIn went in on her ass. Like, man, how could you expect a rock star VA for X amount of dollars, right? And you're not going to get anybody. Nobody's going to pay you that kind of money to do that. So you need to pay good money. That's first of all, right? Or find somebody that's willing to work with you along the way. So here's Vervo, right? And this is your online hiring assistant. I bought this, and it's been the best thing I've ever used. And what it does is, number one, it gives you a way to arrange and put together your organize your whole your hiring process. And then it gives them it sees evaluate candidates using on the job task, right? So in other words, you give them an assessment test, and it's not like give me your fucking blown up CV. This is like do an assessment to find out, ask questions, and they work. How does it work? Like, see if they can do screen sharing. See if they can do the smallest task. Ask them questions that they should be able to answer. This is number one. Assess them before you do anything, right? You need to assess them. So now that you know that you need to pay them good money, now that you know that you need to put them through an assessment. Now, Vervo is a little expensive, right? And I've got a couple of these. I was able to get a really good deal on this, and I didn't play. But you see that it's, pretty hefty. It's not cheap. $3.99 a month is expensive as fuck, right? So how do you circumvent this part, right? Just all this is basically a survey of asking questions. So Google a good assessment test for virtual assistants, good questions to ask or whatever, and then you put it inside of a survey. And surveys are cheap, right? So let's just look at Typeform or SurveyMonkey. something like that, right? So let's look at Typeform, and then let's look at SurveyMonkey. And there's, yeah, SurveyMonkey. So let's look at that really quickly. And what do these cost? See, here's the Pro for $25 a month for one user, and then $59 a month. It beats the $3.99, right? Now, here is SurveyMonkey, $420 a year. That's what is that? A little less than what, $30-something a month or whatever that is, right? And you see here's $1,000 for a year. But anyways, that beats $3.99 a month. Okay, so you can go here and do that, and use SurveyMonkey or something like this on Typeform to use a survey to use as a bootleg assessment, right? There's also a software called SparkCharts, and I'll show you that really quickly. Let me find it. I can just go there. Let me find this. Shit. All right, so you can see here, SparkChart is another one that you can go to. And this is really inexpensive, and it's the same thing. It's just a survey-based tool or whatever. And so, like, if you guys remember when I did my my survey for my group, I just gave a survey, like, I wanted to see what questions you had to answer, whatever. So this is it, right? So they got to put their first name, last name, and email address in, and and then they get asked simple little questions. You get a little link like this, and you just link them to this and give them different tasks, right? And that's it. And I think SparkChart is pretty affordable as well. Let me see. I don't know how much this is because I don't pay for it. But so just get some kind of survey software like this that you can ask, people questions or whatever. So this is $40 a month, which isn't bad. Okay. And then it goes straight to the consultant. But you see, you get unlimited survey projects, unlimited responses, and this and that and other, right? And they have like templates that you can actually use as well. So the first thing you need to do to hire that is you need to have you need to pay them well, find out what good pay is. The second thing you need to do is you need to put them through an assessment test, right? But here's the most important part that I wanted to show you right now, okay? And this is what I've learned. You need to have a process to give them, a yes or no process, all right? And so I use this, and I'll show you how you can circumvent this as well, right? But you need to have a flat-out process that you can show, this is what I do. So this is what I have. A client onboarding for a marketing agency, right? So this is what I want you to do when clients are onboarded. And you say, these are the steps that you need to complete, right? So here's an introduction, and you have a deadline for when to finish it, collecting the client info, the package options that they might have, give them a welcome letter, send them a welcome package, right? Everything that needs to be done in that entire process needs to be laid out for them to do. Really simple. You can put videos in here, and you can do everything, right? So, like, let's just say, for instance, you had a checklist on, and I do have one for how to use lead generation via a tool that I have, right? So this explains how to log in, how to use the lead finder, how to use the new search or whatever tool, how to get prospects, download the emails, then repeat as needed, and then you need to validate the emails and then email duplicate cleaning, right? So this is me telling my VA exactly how to take care of a process that you need. It needs to be done over and over and over again, right? So this library is really important for you to try to figure out, how can you do things? So lead generation via LinkedIn sales, right? How do you do this? This is the whole thing that explains exactly what you need to do step by step on what I need you to do. So what are those processes for you in your business, right? What do you need to do? So what you need to do is figure out how you do what it is you do, what exactly you want them to do, Lay it out step by step by step. And don't leave out shit. And here's the most important part. At the end of every step, there should be a yes or no answer, right? So in other words, there shouldn't be any like guessing. Well, is the sky blue or is it, kind of reddish? If the sky is kind of like a blondish color, then, you can do this. Don't do that, right? Because you're giving them too much room to think. You want to take all thinking out of the process and make it like a machine, right? So you show them to log on to this website, go to this page, put in this and this for your login credentials. And then you show them just with little pictures. Click over here and start this process. And then tell them, like one time I had a VA that I wanted him to put ads on Craigslist for me. And she had to go look up herself how to use Craigslist. Right then I should have known, and I was using Backpages. I should have known that you got to give them instructions, because even the simplest shit like how to post an ad on Backpages or Craigslist, she didn't know how to do. So if you have that process already laid out, you can hire the laziest, dumbest. They don't need to understand your language. They can translate the shit. You can hire the silliest people on the planet for short periods of time to get work done for you, right? So I'm going to show you where you can go get processes done really quickly. This is totally free for a certain amount of processes that you do, but it's called process.st, right? You can totally go in here and manage your workflow. This is probably the one single thing that's going to make you be able to scale up your business by using VAs, right? And you have to be specific. And there has to be a yes or no. And when you're hiring VAs, right, don't hire VAs with the thought process that they're going to be a lifetime employee. Hire them on the project basis. In other words, I have this project of lead generation that I need to do for the next 10 days, and then that'll be enough leads, and then you can let them go. Let them follow that process, get your leads that you need, right? Collect those leads, and then tell them bye-bye. And then if they're available again in 10 days because you like their work, contact them to see if they're available. More than likely they won't be, but that's okay, because you can hire the dumbest, laziest, non-English speaking person you want to, because you have this laid out. If you're really smart and you wanted to hire somebody, now this is the fucking bonus tip right here. If you're really smart and you want to hire somebody like from India, right? And they speak Hindu, get somebody on Fiverr to translate all your processes in Hindu for you and give it to them in their own language. If you're hiring Filipinos, which everybody loves, then go get a Filipino to translate your processes in Tagalog. Get that they understand English, right? They speak English, but they don't comprehend well. So if you give it to them in Tagalog, they go, oh shit, that's what it is, right? You can hire the dumbest, laziest VAs possible, man, when you follow this process. So I'm going to give you some more game right now. This one is called, what is it called? Let me find it for you. I need to find this one. This is pretty awesome right here. What is it called, man? It is a screen share. It's like when you use, here it is right here. This is called Hubstaff, and this is awesome, right? So this takes the guesswork out of whether they're doing the work for you or not, right? So what this does is it actually takes screenshots of their desk, okay? When they're working, they have to clock in and clock out. This takes the this laziness out of it. If they're not working, they're not going to get paid. This automatically connects to your PayPal and pays weekly, and you get to monitor whatever they're doing, right? Here's the coolest shit. It's really affordable to use this software, right? So it's $4 a month paid annually for one user and time tracking, or your premium where you get time tracking, unlimited screenshots, activity levels, unlimited integrations, employee payments, 24/7 support, the whole shit is $8 a seat when you pay annually, right? Now, you can pay monthly if you want to. And it's going to be, so annually you get a little discount. So it's even monthly, it's just $8 a seat. Who can't afford to do that, right? So let's go over, right? And that's it right there in the face. I like that. I like that. The thumbnail. It's great. So let's go over what we need to do really quickly, right? So what we need to do is we need to pay them really good, right? So we know that we need to pay good. If you pay people good, they'll be more motivated because it's a money thing to come work for you in the first fucking place, right? The next thing we need to do is we need to figure out if they can even do the work. So you assess them with a survey. You use any type of survey software that you have out there, right? And find an assessment. Just Google a good assessment for VAs. Somebody should have something out there. Or maybe join one of these other assessments, see if they have a trial, and go steal their assessments, right? And see what their questions they're asking. You go duplicate that in a survey software that you can afford, because it's just a survey, right? The next thing you want to do is create a process, an undeniable step-by-step dumbass process like you would explain it to a 2-year-old. For extra points, take that process and translate it into the local language of the coders. Like, say, for instance, you're doing an app and you want coders. Man, that's the biggest thing. If there was a communication gap, get that shit translated to Russian, to Indian, and the Philippines, or whatever these places are. Get that shit translated into their language. They should speak a little bit of English. And then once you explain it to them, go, okay, here's the process right here in your language. Oh, yeah, I get that. Cool. Do you understand? Yes. Then after they do understand that, you want to fucking follow what they're doing. Make them keep them honest by using this here. Doing this process right here, you can hire, the dumbest, laziest, non-English speaking VA that you could possibly find. And they still got to do the work. There's no more excuses. They just follow the process step by step, and make sure you hire them on a project basis. This is all the work that I have for you to do right now. This is going to be 5 hours, negotiate however long it's going to take or whatever, 10 hours, have them clock in and clock out, and this will automatically pay them via PayPal. That is how you're going to hire your kick-ass VA, lazy, don't have a clue, don't speak your language, and still get your work done.